Yes, so the first question in Sunday's Leetcode contest is like we are given an array and we need to find the triplet where I should be less than j and j should be less than k. I, j, k are the index of the numbers. Also, we have to find the difference between number of j minus number of I, that should be equal to the difference given. So if these two conditions satisfy, we can say that we have found a triplet. So we have to find these kind of triplets, like how many exist in the array. So if we take this example 0, 1, 4, 6, 7, 10, in this, if we see, if we take one pair, let's take this 4, 7, and 10. The indices are 2, 4, and 5. So 4 is greater than, index 4 is greater than 2, and index 5 is greater than 4. So the first condition satisfies. The next one is like 7 minus 4. The difference over here is 3, and the 10 minus 7, the difference is 3. So here the diff is 3. So this condition also satisfied. So we can say that this is a good triplet. So we have to figure out how many such triplet exist in this number. I see like most of the persons over here have solved this question. Can anyone tell me any approach?
Like I just use the brute force with 3 loops and just check for the conditions.
Okay, and looking at constraint, you used 3 loops or?
Yeah, looking at the constraints.
Yeah, so if let's say in worst case, like the length of the number is 200, what will be the time complexity?
Like there will be 8,000 like operations.
Yeah, so you are using 3 loops. I mean, iterating through 3 loops. So it will be like in worst case 200 into 200 into 200. That is nothing but 8 into 10 to the power of 6. So this is fine. I mean, this solution will work. Is there any way we can optimize this?
So I have used a set
Set, okay.
to hold all the values.
Sure, okay.
And then I mean, in the next iteration, I'm verifying whether the current element minus the diff and current element plus the diff. Like I'm trying to find the previous and the next values of the current value and trying to find them in the set.
So we are already given that all the numbers in this array is strictly increasing. This means that we just need to search those numbers exist or not, right? I mean, if we take this number 0, 1, 4, 6, 7, 10. So let's say what you are saying is if we are at 7, you are doing 7 minus 3, searching if 4 exists in the set or not, and doing 7 plus 3, that is 10. 10 exists in the set or not. If this exists, you are incrementing the count.
Correct.
And this you will do for all the numbers.
Correct.
So in this case, like what will be the time complexity?
O of n.
O of n. So you are using set, right?
Correct.
So if we search an element in a set, it takes what time?
O of 1.
So yeah, set will take log n time.
Okay.
So basically you are going through each index, I mean each element in the array, and then you are checking that element minus diff plus diff. So 2 operations for 2 into log n for each element. So worst case we can say like n into 2 into log n.
Okay.
2 we can ignore, so it's n into log n.
Yeah.
Yeah, ideally, if we use unordered set, then time complexity become big of 1 for searching. So log n will reduce to 1.
Yeah. So another way would be
the unordered set only, like the hash set.
okay, got it.
Yes.
Yeah. And if we are unaware of this, how to use unordered map or unordered set, like one easier approach is like you just take a array of size like 200, because we know here that any elements will not increase above 200. So we just do a count sort kind of thing, like have the count of each element. Now, just if we know the one number, we can have the another two number. We just need to see whether those two numbers are present or not. So if we have 0, the other two numbers will be 3 and 6. So we just go and see that 3 and 6 exist in this array or not. If they are there, then we can increment the count. This is another, like we can make array also in use.
Yeah, so basically array is working as a set for us. It's like direct addressing table. Right? Yeah. And will the array size, like this is a question for everyone, will array size 200 suffice? Can you look at the constraints and tell array size 200 is okay? Yeah, guys, can everyone check this and respond?
I guess array size, I mean, plus 200 plus diff should be
200 plus diff don't need, because you can put an if condition. If your number is going outside, like if current number plus diff is going outside the range, you actually do not go and check. Otherwise, yes, there is a scope of array index out of bound exception, right? Yep. But even with this check, your array size should be 201, because you want to accommodate 0 as well as 200.
Right.
Yep.
So yeah, what size of array we have to take? We need to see this constraint, like what is the value that they are giving on the array. So if this is increased to 400, then we'll have to take it to 401 size.
Yep. And ideally, if we don't want to put a lot of if else conditions, then ideally it would be we go ahead and take array size of 251 or 252, which accounts for basically 200 plus diff also. I mean, a little extra space won't hurt us. That will simplify the code a lot.
Yeah. So anyone has any doubt, or we can move to the next question?
Okay, just before we leave this question, if we talk about, like we discussed, ideally we discussed 3 approaches. First approach, we said brute force approach. Second approach we said was, because what is the second approach we discussed? It was set based approach. So ideally we are reducing it to search problem. We are going to search for any AI, is AI plus diff and AI plus 2 times diff is present in the set or not. And third approach we said is in place of using a set, we can use an array. Ideally it is set based approach only. Only thing is we are using an array for marking every element is seen or not seen. But is there any other approach? Array is sorted, any other thing clicks in our head?
Binary search.
Yeah, we could have done a binary search. For every element, we are searching if that element plus diff is there in the array or not, that element plus 2 times diff is there or not. So binary search would have been fourth approach. But ideally, when you look at the question, when you see constraints are so small that even a brute force would work, do we really need to think of optimizing during the contest time? Yeah, so answer is no. During the contest, whatever simplest solution that comes to your mind, which beats the constraints, we go ahead and implement. Yeah, so because this problem was very simplified problem because of the constraints and array was sorted. Yeah, this should not have taken more time, but yes, reason Kaushik discussed other solution was if the constraints were higher, problem would have been medium. then we needed better approaches. Good. Thanks, Kaushik. Yeah, this is good. We can move ahead.